well as others made really big contributions individually. But the best thing that our team does is we don't look for credit. We just share the ball and find whoever makes most sense. And I really thought that our team also played tough at elevation with the transition baskets that we had. I told our team that I didn't even necessarily notice after the first round of substitutions if we were at elevation or not, which is hard to do in places like this. We've played in Colorado before, we've played in New Mexico before, and BYU, and it's hard. So I think that they just were gritty and tough against a team of talented players who, I mean, JR is one of my favorite coaches all time, and she does a really great job with her teams, and so that makes me just even more proud of how our team played today.
All right, any questions?
Coach, after Colorado's hot start offensively, what did you guys kind of do defensively to kind of slow them down and kind of get into your group?
Yeah, I think the first couple possessions we weren't defending personnel how we were supposed to, or at least not what we thought was going to be most effective. We let their good shooters get to their open spots. We went removed from some players that we shouldn't have gone removed on, and lost them a little bit in transition. So the message at that timeout was just that we needed to do a better job, much better, because they were getting easy shots. We knew that they have some players who could make tough shots, but we wanted to make sure that we limited the easy ones. And I think their first few baskets were just way too easy. So after that, we were a little bit more dialed in with personnel.
For both of you ladies, how does a win like this help motivate and get your squad riled up to continue throughout this tournament?
Go ahead.
No, you got it.
No, you don't answer questions as much. Go ahead.
I think that it's really big to win again at elevation. We knew it was going to be a hard game, and this team was like seated higher than us. So big win for us, especially on the road. We knew they were a really good road team coming into this, and I think it was also really big that we didn't start well, and then we rallied behind each other and got back. Like
Home team, good home team.
Yeah.
Good home team. Yeah.
Sorry, what did I
That's
say?
okay.
Road team.
Oh, sorry.
We were on the road.
We were
It was,
on the
it was
road.
half right.
Yeah. Yeah, just to like piggyback off of what Ali said, I think just being able to come in here in this environment, kind of with like the crowd and the team, their pressure, and just being able to handle that, I think that gives us a little bit of confidence. Like if you can come into Colorado and beat Colorado, that's big. So it's a commitment to them, but you know, it also gives us a little boost of energy knowing that we can take on tough opponents.
Yeah, Yvonne, another double-double for you tonight. I think you're 14th of the season. And, you know, you had a tough defensive assignment tonight as well. Jade Masagaya was one of the best players in the Big 12. You held her to, I think, 12 points or something like that. Can you talk a little bit about your mentality coming into the game against Jade and the other bigs that they had?
Yeah, just knowing that we can't give them anything easy, knowing that if I'm fronting, I have help side, but like I have to work hard still in order to limit her. She's a good player, and she's very crafty when she's around the basket. So as much as I can come in and take away any catches down low for her and just stay straight up and play her like one-on-one, I think that's really where my mentality sat. But I was ready to go at it with her, and I think she brought it today, so it was really fun to play against her. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to be your side.
Yeah, I mean, I just shared with well, for today, I mean, tremendous effort. Two really good teams. Anyone that's playing right now is really good and really experienced and all of that. So I thought both teams played really hard and was proud of our effort. I don't think anyone in their 35 games they've played, or however many, no one's tied them on the glass. So great execution there. But really, the game is kind of irrelevant at this point. You know, I told the team I was really proud of the way everyone persevered throughout the season. There were so many challenges and different things, and it wasn't just one or two people that stepped up when they were needed. It was every single person, every staff member, every one that touched our program did more, you know, than they needed to at different times, and really proud of our players for sort of having that resilience throughout the season.
The game itself, I mean, you guys have been a good shooting team all year, but the shots weren't falling today, and their defense was pretty tough today. So how much of that was kind of your shots not falling? How much of it do you attribute to them kind of playing you so tough?
I think usually it's a combination of the two. I thought we got some good looks that didn't fall like maybe they normally do. I also think they're really, really long and contest shots very well on the perimeter. So, and inside, things were pretty contested. So sort of a combination of the two. I also think we finished some really tough shots, you know, and so good execution for the most part.
I guess for Kendall, just what are the emotions for you right now after having a strong 4 years in Boulder?
Yeah, it's sad, but I think I started to process this on senior night. And so I've known that it's going to be coming to an end here soon. And I'm going to miss my teammates more than anything. It's a great atmosphere, great people, love them to death. But I know that those will be lifelong relationships that I'll always have.
Sarah, same for you. When we talked in Kansas City, you know, you said, "I wish I had another year." You know, so for you, this being your last college game, and what are your emotions, and especially the way it's been tough for you the last month or so, having to battle through the foot injury?
Yeah, I feel like just sort of like you sort of feel like you're ending your career sort of prematurely, sort of thing. Even though, I mean, I get an extra year than what most people do, and I said to you, I'd take another year if I had it in a heartbeat. Might make me a 25-year-old senior, but you know. Yeah, like it's emotional, and it's, you know, something that, you know is coming down the pipeline that your whole career, but I'm just grateful for the relationships that I've had and the experiences that I've had. I wouldn't change it for the world. You know, I've lived in another country for 5 years, and that experience is second to none. You know, you find your sort of home away from home, and it is something that's, you know, sad to leave, but, you know, I think sort of like how we're leaving the program, you know, the girls that are, you know, coming up through, it's exciting at the same time that you can sort of pass the torch over.
What's it kind of mean then to be able to, you know, pass that torch on? And what do you see from the future of this program? And like, especially for you, Kendall, how do you feel you've left an impact or legacy at CU?
I would just say it's going to be very different, I think, for both Sarah and I next year watching from the stands. Knowing that the girls that are on the court have gone through what we've gone through, and we remember, like, we've been in their shoes. And so very excited to watch them. In particular, I'm very excited to watch Kennedy Sanders. I think she's going to do great things in her college career. And sometimes you need that, like, senior point guard to kind of graduate in order for you to really discover your own potential. And so I'm really excited to watch her.
Piggybacking off of that question, Coach, like, what do you think is kind of the outlook for this program going forward, you know, with another, maybe potentially another roster overhaul this offseason? How important is it for your younger players to get the postseason play right now?
Yeah, I think it's really important and actually pretty rare that freshmen across the country right now are playing the type of minutes that our young players played. And not just minutes, but like big games, lots of freshmen on the floor at the same time, making big plays, learning how to play in the postseason, whether it was the Big 12 tournament or now in the WBIT. And so I think that will be critical for, you know, just how well prepared they'll be moving forward.
I guess also for JR, just looking back on the season and today, just what will kind of be your overall message to this team and just when you look back at the season as a whole? Yeah,
the message that I shared was just that there were a lot of wins this year, and I wasn't talking about the 22 basketball wins. I was talking about you know, the impact that they've had in the community, the fact that we had the highest team GPA in the history of Colorado women's basketball in 50 years, you know, the way that they've impacted some young members of our community, you know, Bellamy and some of the young ones. We had a bunch of campers that were at our last game that just spent the full 40 minutes screaming for Jade because she was their camp coach, the summer before. And so different people stepping up when someone was injured or multiple people all of a sudden were out and had to play out of position. So tons and tons of wins that didn't necessarily show up in the box score. And that is something that we all should be really proud of.
Coach, with the players that you do have coming back next year, what's the growth that you're looking for over this off season? And maybe let's start with Tabitha. She had she played a lot of minutes today. You had two other freshmen that played a lot of minutes today. What would you like to see some improvement during the off season going into the coming season?
I think collectively, again, the fact that they played a lot more than most freshmen throughout the country is significant. I always think the biggest jump you make in college is typically between your freshman year and your sophomore year, mostly because when you come in as a freshman, you don't really know what to expect, what it's going to feel like, what it's going to be like. Going into your sophomore year, you now know, what that looks like as far as time constraints, time demands, the rigor, the injuries, all of that stuff, and so you have a better chance to prepare. So physical development is going to be huge, getting stronger, more explosive for everybody. I hate to generalize everyone, but that's something that definitely we'll want to attack. Our strength coach is phenomenal, so he'll do a great job with them. Continue to grow our versatility so that our post players can all shoot and handle the ball, and guards are confident attacking and making decisions. I don't think people want to hear me talk about player development, but I do think it's significant that they played a lot, and their impact will be significant as well.
And then for Sarah and for Kendall, can you talk just for a minute about the experience of playing in the WBIT? I know you guys obviously would have preferred to be in the big dance, but you got two more opportunities to play at home before a really boisterous home crowd. So can you talk about what that meant to you?
I think, for me at a personal level, because I was injured for a few games in the stretch, so just, not being able to play on senior night, and so coming back and, being in front of Buff Nation, it was a really, an emotional thing for me, and, I, just appreciated that, you're disappointed that we didn't make the NCAA tournament, but, still having an opportunity to play basketball and doing it again back in front of our home crowd, and, having the city of Boulder behind us, coming out and showing up for us. I think for me personally, being able to do that one more time is something that I'm really grateful for.
I would just say I've been hoping that we'd play postseason in Boulder the past 4 years, so it was nice. Even though we didn't make the big tournament, it was nice to play here last few times.
For both of you, this season's been such a grind. I know every season is, but this season seems more than the other season because of the injuries. Not only both of you, but almost everybody on this team seems like they've been injured. Has it been a tough year, just trying to get through this, new people, injuries, all that stuff?
I'd say so, for sure. It's a very unconventional year and very different than the past 3 years that I've had here. But with that also comes change and excitement, and there were some really good things that came out of this year too. But yes, definitely brought on different challenges.
Yeah, ditto exactly what Kendall said, but JR even said it in the locker room. It also gave an opportunity for others to step up. And, it was really great that we were able to lean on each other, and just sort of not even filling a void, just literally stepping up and, being better at, each individual's job. So it was really exciting to see, young players do that. And, yeah.
Coach, what is kind of the message for the returning players now heading into the offseason?
Honestly, we've been so focused on this season, I don't have a message for them yet. Spring for basketball teams has changed drastically. It used to be that everyone had an opportunity to rest. Now the transfer portal opens in 2 days, and there will be hundreds that go in, and so there's, I honestly haven't thought about the message right now. I just hope that they'll rest for a little bit.
Well, yeah, since you opened the door on the transfer portal comment there, are you going to be active in it? Are you already?
Every coach in America is active in the portal. You have to be. Yeah, it's become the busiest time of the year for coaches.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.